Hey there everybody, welcome to the Daily here on MLSsoccer.com. Josh Wiseman, joined by Jason Sagini. And Jason, we have a lot to get to today. Let's start up in Canada. The final of the Amway Canadian Championship kicks off tonight. Montreal, Vancouver. That one's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet up in Canada. What do we expect out of this one, Jason?
Well, this is the first leg of a two-game aggregate goal series. And for Montreal, the story is they've been playing a lot of games. This is their 7th game in 22 days. But they do have a 10-day break before their next game in MLS play. So they can lay it all out here before the home leg. And we saw in their last round for Montreal how important the home leg was. They were down 2-0 in Toronto. They won 6-0 at home. This time, the fixtures are reversed. They need to come out strong in the first leg. And Vancouver is going to come out here trying to get the road goal. Road goals matter. So a 1-1 result for Vancouver, they'd go home really happy. As far as Montreal goes, I think they want to get a 2-goal victory here to put themselves in good shape going into Vancouver, because before that second leg, Vancouver has that weekend off. So they have a full week to prepare for Montreal. It should be interesting.
It's going to be fun to watch that one again. 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet. Unfortunately, if you're a U.S. viewer, you're not going to be able to catch it. However, there will be tons of pre- and post-game coverage on MLSsoccer.com. Some good news for U.S. viewers, however, Jason, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, Philly and LA on MLS Live. Of course, this is the first match of LA's 2-game East Coast road swing. Big decisions for both managers and big decisions for you. If you play MLS Fantasy, make sure you set your lineups tonight so you don't get locked out for the rest of the week. But Jason, back to Hackworth, back to Arena. How do you think each is going to play this tonight?
Well, Bruce Arena is getting Robbie Keane and Todd Donovan back. The question is, how is he going to use them? After they've been off for so long, I don't know that they necessarily get a start here. Maybe they get 30 minutes or so in this game, and then they get to start over the weekend against the Red Bulls. As far as John Hackworth goes, I'd expect some lineup shuffling here. I don't think Connor Casey's a guy who's going to play 2 games in any week during this season, not at this point in his career. So I'd expect Sebastian Letou to come in up top. And I think this is a great opportunity for Hackworth to get Kleberson a start. So it could be exciting for Philly fans to see some of these guys who've kind of been on the bench for a while now. And it's exciting for the players also having the LA Galaxy come to town defending champs. And Sebastian Letou talked about that yesterday.
It's big, big game for us. I think to beat them will be great because, like you said, they are twice defending champions. So it's a great motivation for us, and I think we really want to do well against them tomorrow. It's a big week for us because we start in Chicago with a win, which is good, but we don't want to stop there. We want to get points, especially at home, and beating LA will be great for us for the confidence and kind of going into this week and have another game this weekend against Chicago at home. So I think getting 6 points in 2 games will be great and continue to move forward in the standing.
And finally, some news and notes for you as far as some other competitions are concerned. Jason, the 100th edition of the U.S. Open Cup kicked off in full last night.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
100. 100.
Yeah. 100.
It only happens once.
So what stood out to you?
All right, plenty to talk about, including Argent Duca, Dilly Duca's brother, coming up with 2 goals for Icon FC to knock out the Brooklyn Italians. Now, the Brooklyn Italians, one of those teams that's actually won the U.S. Open Cup a couple times before, back in the pre-MLS days. Also want to mention Steve Newman, a Georgetown midfielder who a lot of people are familiar with from last year. He helped them make that run to the final in the tournament, was maybe expected to come out into the MLS draft. Didn't. He's going back to school this year for his junior season. He scored a goal. Reading knocks out Lehigh Valley.
Yep, and don't forget our friends out at FC Tucson. We do a lot of work with them. They host the big Desert Diamond Cup every single preseason that we see here in MLS. They pulled a pretty big upset as well, 2-1 over Phoenix FC.
Yeah, and there's some other MLS ties here. Portland and Seattle's U23 teams both advancing to the next round, while the New York Red Bulls U23 team are out. The big scorer of the day was David Gino of the Seattle Sounders U23 team. He is a senior in college at Middle Tennessee State. East Tennessee State? East Tennessee State. And he scored 4 goals on the night to help them advance.
Huge night for David Gino in East Tennessee State. Making the transition now, another club competition, this one in South America. The Copa Libertadores, you might have heard of it. Club Tijuana get a massive result away to Palmeiras. And Jason, Jurgen Klinsmann was in the stands down there.
It's always good. Great for Joe Corona and Edgar Castillo, who both played in the match. They now advance to the quarterfinals against Atletico Mineiro, who have a little guy named Ronaldinho on their team. So it'll be exciting to see them in the quarterfinals of Copa Libertadores.
Yep, certainly will. That does it for us here on the Daily for today. One last note before we get out of here. Congratulations and well wishes, of course, to DC United defender Robbie Russell. Robbie has made the decision to retire today from professional soccer and, of course, pursue a career in the medical field. He's going back to med school. And Jason, I would guess that he's probably going to be the only one in the class with an MLS Cup ring.
He did score the game-winning PK for Real Salt Lake in 2009.
Again, congrats to Robbie Russell. That does it for us here on the Daily. We will see you guys tomorrow.